At an insane and tumultuous Argentine motorcycle Grand Prix, Cal Crutchlow took triumph on his LCR Honda in a completely riveting race that saw Crutchlow and Tech 3 Yamaha's Johan Zarco in a warmed last lap tussle, the Brit simply figuring out how to hold off the Frenchman by a meager 0.251 seconds at the line. Alex Rins, who drove segments of the race on the manufacturing plant Suzuki, took a nearby third, denoting his first MotoGP platform. Crutchlow will come into the American round in Austin driving the arrangement title out of the blue. The last British rider to lead the head class title was Barry Sheene in 1979. The other significant story was the hopeless race experienced by guarding best on the planet Marc Marquez. He slowed down his bicycle similarly as the race was to begin and was advised to go to pit lane. He didn't and subsequently was given a ride however punishment while driving. He re-entered and started a torrid charge through the field, yet his Honda resembled a rocking the bowling alley ball through pins. To begin with, he reached Aprilia rider Alex Espargaro and was likewise punished for that. His third punishment came late in the race when he furrowed into Valentino Rossi, making Rossi keep running off into the wet grass and crash. At last the punishments implied that Marquez was pushed back to 18th place. After the race Marquez got off his bicycle, strolled straightforwardly to Rossi's carport in an evident endeavor to apologizes, yet was repelled by colleagues. Perplexity ruled before the beginning of the race. Under on and off light rain, shaft champ Jack Miller picked smooth tires and grid for the begin. Alternate riders set to change tires. Authorities did not need an unsafe scrum of almost the whole lattice beginning from pit path, so the race was postponed and regridded, bringing about an odd beginning with Miller on shaft, with whatever remains of the field beginning around 5 lines back. Autodromo Termas de Rio Hondo had patches of moist and even wet zones, which enhanced as the race wore on. Mill operator typically drove the principal lap, yet Marquez was shutting rapidly. Dani Pedrosa endured a hard high side toward the finish of the main lap after contact with Zarco. Marquez led the pack on the second lap and was pulling without end when a couple of laps later he was compelled to do his ride however punishment, returning Miller in advance. The race dealt with a 4-rider breakaway of Miller, Rins, Zarco, and Crutchlow. In an exceptional second 50% of the race, Rins put the Suzuki into the lead after a few endeavors at passing Miller that didn't stick. Yet, at that point Rins ran wide, dropping to 4th and returning Miller on the point. Mill operator at that point expeditiously did likewise, giving Crutchlow the lead out of the blue with Miller's mistake dropping him off the Pioneers, making it a 3-path fight to the banner. Zarco at that point quickly held first until the point that Crutchlow got it back with 2 laps to go. Zarco tried at finding a path past on the last lap, yet Crutchlow was faultless and hung on for the triumph, his third in MotoGP. It's pleasant to win, there's no uncertainty about that, however it was required to be straightforward, said a certain sounding Crutchlow after the race. I came into the end of the week supposing I could be first or second with Mark and we wound up winning. I was agreeable in the fight and felt I went for broke. I remained with riders that I most likely ought to have and would have possessed the capacity to drop on the off chance that I expected to, however I would not like to go for broke. The front tire was too delicate for me. We realized that from the beginning of the race, however it was sprinkling. We must be satisfied. The group has completed a phenomenal activity in the last 2 races and I figure we could have battled for the win regardless of which circuit it would have been this end of the week. Presently we go to Austin and we're going for the main 5. We need to go for the main 5 to leave there with solid focuses. Behind the platform finishers came Pramac Ducati's Miller. Yamaha's Maverick Vinales adjusted the best 5. After 2 rounds Crutchlow drives the title with 38 focuses. Dovizioso, who completed 11th today, is second with 35 and Zarco third with 28. The following round is in 2 weeks, on April 22 at Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas.